You know that t-shirt in your closet? Well, it didn't just magically appear there. It actually went on this whole secret journey across continents, speaking a language of numbers and codes long before it ever became, clothing. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover that hidden life step by step.
So seriously, have you ever thought about it? Before that shirt landed in your closet, it was just an idea, a bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet, and a roll of fabric moving through this massive global system. We're going to follow that journey right from the start.
Okay, so the first thing you have to understand is that before a single stitch is even made, your t-shirt is just a player in this huge global game of trade. And like any game, it's got rules, it's got players, and it has a very, very specific language.
See, to the people in the global apparel industry, your t-shirt isn't just a t-shirt. It's a category. It's a universal code that tells customs officials everywhere exactly what it is. So like, a regular knitted t-shirt is category 39. You can kind of think of it as the garment's official first name.
So how big is this system really? Well, there are 115 different categories of garments being traded all over the world at any given time. We're talking everything from dress shirts to swimsuits. Each one has its own unique number. That's the scale of this thing. It's this huge, highly organized marketplace.
All right, so if category is the item's name, then quota is the rulebook. It's the limit, right? It's how many items of a certain category one country is allowed to sell to another. This whole system was designed to control the flow of goods, to keep markets from getting totally flooded and to manage these really complex international trade deals.
Okay, so we've got the global rules down. But how does that actually turn into a business deal? Once everyone's clear on the categories and the quotas, companies can finally start making deals, and most importantly, figure out how everyone's going to get paid.
This right here, this is the financial handshake that makes global trade even possible. An LC, or letter of credit, lets a factory in, say, Vietnam, confidently ship thousands of t-shirts to a brand on the other side of the world, all because a bank has guaranteed they'll get their money. It's basically trust, but it's backed by some serious financial muscle.
Another huge piece of the puzzle is figuring out who pays for shipping. A deal can be FOB, which means the buyer takes care of all the shipping costs right from the factory door. Or it can be CIF, where the seller rolls the cost of shipping and insurance right into the price. That one little three-letter acronym in the contract literally decides who's on the hook for the t-shirt's entire journey across the ocean.
Okay, deal's done, money's sorted. Now we get to move from the boardroom to the design room. And this is where the idea of the t-shirt stops being about numbers and starts to take actual physical shape. Well, on paper at least.
Every single piece of your t-shirt, the front, the back, each sleeve, the little collar piece, it all starts as a pattern. These paper templates are the absolute essential building blocks, and they make sure every single shirt that gets made is exactly the same size and shape.
So this process has a few steps. It starts with the basic block, which is just a pure pattern of the human form, no frills. Then it becomes a working pattern once you add what's called allowance. That's a little extra room for movement and style. And finally, all those pieces get arranged into a marker. This is the master plan, and it's kind of like a giant game of Tetris designed to cut the most pieces possible from a single roll of fabric with the absolute minimum waste.
And now, we're on the factory floor. The fabric has been cut out perfectly according to the marker, and it is time to turn all those flat pieces of cloth into an actual three-dimensional t-shirt.
All right, let's get down to the absolute basics here. A stitch, that's just one single loop of thread. A seam, that's a whole line of those stitches joining two pieces of fabric together. Sounds simple, right? But it's the specific combination of different stitches and seams that gives a garment its strength, its shape, and its durability.
So garments also have these hidden layers. Now, lining is the stuff you can feel on the inside. It's there for comfort. But the real secret ingredient is the inner lining. This is a special, stiffer layer that's put between the fabric in places like collars or shirt cuffs to give them structure and keep them from just flopping over. Pretty clever.
And finally, you've got the accessories. This is basically everything that isn't the main fabric. We're talking buttons, zippers, and yep, even that little label on the back of your t-shirt. They're the all-important finishing touches that make the garment truly functional.
So the t-shirt's been assembled, but hold on. We are not done yet. The last few steps are all about refinement, reinforcement, and passing one final, really crucial exam.
You can actually see these details if you look closely at your own clothes. An applique is just a cool design that's been sewn on. A bar tack? That's that super thick block of stitching you see at the corner of your jeans pockets. It's there to keep it from tearing. And a blind stitch is what's used on hems so you can't see the thread from the outside. It's a real sign of quality.
Okay, this is the final exam. It's called AQL. Now think about it. Inspectors can't possibly check every single t-shirt in a shipment of like 10,000. It's just not possible. So what they do is they pull a random sample and check that small batch for any defects. And based on how many flaws they find, a statistical formula decides if the entire shipment passes or fails.
And this isn't just some textbook theory. This is exactly how the industry works. A multi-million-dollar order can literally be accepted or rejected based on this one single statistical test. It is the final gatekeeper before your t-shirt gets packed up and shipped out.
So there you have it. From being just a number, Category 39, and some global trade document, through financial guarantees and blueprints and assembly lines, all the way to passing its final AQL exam. That is the incredible and kind of complicated journey that your simple t-shirt has been on.
So the next time you pick up a t-shirt, maybe take a closer look at the tag, at the seams. You're not just holding a piece of clothing. You're holding the final chapter of this amazing global journey. Makes you wonder, what other stories are hiding in your closet?